Give one some little time to come on in for a little bit. Excuse me. A little bit. So, yeah, yeah. I had to make this video live about 2023 year of separation. That's the year of separation, y'all. I have to get some stuff off my chest right quick, but hope everybody had a real good Sabbath. Everything was, going good for y'all. There's a lot of stuff going sometimes the other way, but it all worked out for the good. Those who believe and everything, right? And so, yeah, y'all know videos I usually do, especially like this, is for the initiated ones, those who can understand me as far as vernacular, but also can understand me far as, verbiage and words that I use, right? Or how I break things down on a higher level, or however you want to put it, right? Or just, harder to understand. So 2023 year separation, got a lot of stuff going on out here in the world today. Uh, if you go on YouTube, you see what I'm saying. You see what I'm talking about. What the word is saying, how it's been fulfilled every day when it comes to politics, when it comes to family, when it comes to uh, the different nations, etc., man. That the world is, yeah, being separated, and it's being separated. A lot of y'all might be feeling this when it comes to your family members, friends, all that. Those who are within this type of knowledge understand that you're going to be separate. I mean, and that's what holy means, separate anyway. So you are prepared yourself for the separation. You know, and you might have a few people. It could be online that that you might connect with. And as far as online, you never met them in person, but you just met them online, and it seemed like you and this individual, y'all just connecting on so many levels. You're able to take their information, they're able to take your information. So that's the togetherness. But you and that individual both understand that y'all just separate, that y'all different from certain groups of other people. You know what I mean? And this is why y'all get along. Okay, and yeah, and you're gonna have to do that. Basically, discernment. You're able to discern where I should go, who I shouldn't be around, and what I should be listening to, and who I should be listening to, etc., etc., etc. So that's good to have, man. But where we at right now, people understand. Yeah, age of separation, man. Time of separation. At least in the period of separation right now. We have that which wasn't seen before is seen. A lot of people are waking up. A lot more people are waking up. I'll put it like that. Than hell, even maybe a couple months ago, maybe even a year ago, are waking up to who they are to a lot of things. They can't do the same thing they were doing yesterday. Um, the way that they voted has changed, or the way they look at voting in politics in general has changed. The way they look at religion, spirituality, etc., etc., the way they look at race, a lot of that has changed. Okay, with certain people, as it should, because that's the only thing that's guaranteed is change. So the way they look at gender is changing. All right, the way they look at sex and sexuality is changing. So you have ones who are mad because of certain pronouns or certain prefixes being used that only the notes only distinguishes you from someone else who is. All right, I mean who is not of or is, who is trans or not of the bio or cis, uh, okay, upbringing. Okay, pull like that. We pull a birth to upbringing. So that's basically kind of um, a way of denoting that. All right, just that your mind didn't align with your body. And you have ones, oh, don't call me a cis woman. Don't call me a cis man. Oh, go to the men's bathroom if you was born with a penis. Go to and it's just like, and then I kept saying, man, I said, man, so many people are going to be so paranoid, just like what we have people being paranoid now. And y'all know I'm a big 2A advocate, but you have people who are so paranoid that they're killing people for making mistakes, going to their house, going to their car. And I can understand, trust me, you being, okay, because we do live in a world and people have PTSD. Hell, I myself might have a form of it, right? But I understand to a degree, like, hey, you might want to, you know. But when even a person say, okay, I'm sorry, I'm out of here, I'm going to go, wrong car, okay, especially with your car. Now I can understand your house, hey, this is where I live at, this is where I sleep at, where my children at. You ain't running up in here, you know what I mean? Or I can see being more paranoid with that than I could somebody get into your car, okay? Even though you do have a right in Georgia and Florida to uh, I think Council Doctrine covered that. So I mean, anything that I guess it has a roof over it that you occupy is that. But I mean, if someone obviously just opens the door and they're looking to close it, or they're not forcibly entering a car, okay, I think you could be, hey, just still draw, or grab, go for your weapon if you have it on you, but don't be so quick to just, you feel me? Oh snap! Oh, they opened my door, boom, and you don't know why they opened the door. They could have the wrong. You don't give a person a chance to say, "Hey, dog, cat," or give a person a chance to even draw their weapon or to see if they have a weapon. You know what I mean? Yeah, just to see, hey man, what, like, and that's kind of me. My thing, I would be like, hey, what the? No, it's like they just boom, like damn, they didn't even ask, hey, what the? They did a boom, okay. So it's different if someone does something to you and you have called the police on them, they have harassed you, they've done things, and then they come back to your residence, okay, or come back to your car. I could understand, okay, you know what? I'd have told you, I'd have called, and you gonna come back over here, and you came over the first time threatening me or threatening my loved one, talking crazy. Then you come back, all right, after I called the police. So I might have to use this thing. I could understand that. Just the first time a stranger just opens up your car door, and even when they walk away, you still say, uh, but as the Bible says too, because of what lawlessness, wickedness shall abound. You know what I mean? So, you know, things are just happening on a scale that people are not used to seeing. And then people watch the news all the time. Even a lot of us, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on a lot of these apps and social media apps, and we're seeing a lot of violence like we never seen before. And that can also, or just negative, bad news, economy, this and other, and that can just have weigh on you as well. Loss of loved ones, um, that can have an effect. So, like I said, I believe that, of course, having guns are rights, but I don't feel like guns are for everyone. I don't feel like every weapon is for everyone. I don't feel like everyone is for everyone. Okay, everyone has a right to exist and to, I guess you could say, date who they want to, but they probably shouldn't. It's probably not good for you to date such an individual if you yourself have some of those traits as well, or maybe it is, depending on how toxic those traits are. But if you get what I'm saying, so yeah, you shouldn't ban guns, but just, certain people probably should say, hey, you know what, I need to work on myself before I purchase a firearm, before I own a firearm. Otherwise, this is probably never going to be my thing. But I'm not going to uh, ban it from other people getting access, because I might need such individuals to help protect me one day if they happen to see me getting robbed or getting assaulted. They might need to meet violence with violence, but I'm probably not going to be I might not be that individual. So to do that because I might jump the gun, as I say, right? If something were to happen or be to whatever, to go about it accordingly, right? Or to just use defense and not go on some overkill type stuff. But you just have to keep in mind of that too, your plus and minus and weaknesses. But what I'm saying is that people are on edge, man, and it's just a sad situation, period, because it's the politics, it's the country right now. It's a lot of things that's going on where people just feeling like someone is taking something from them or about to take something from them. So when it comes to gender, when it comes to oh, somebody's trying to kill me, somebody's trying to take my life, or they're trying to harm my children. I mean, everybody's feeling like they're being attacked on so many levels, man, on everything. And it get to a point of, okay, well, what's left, man? What is uh where are we headed right now? Where are we headed? If so many people are feeling like they're not getting the results that they want, that's not good in a sense, right? Or they feel like if they don't get the results that they want, it's cool for them to pick fights with people, man. It's cool. They feel like they got to fight, they got to attack, they got to uh they have to be on attack mode because they're not getting the response that they want. Or the first wrong step is attack, attack, attack. Don't ask no questions, just attack. Don't try to figure out why this person is trans, this attack. Don't try to figure out why this person is walking around, the yard, just attack. Don't ask them, hey, why are you parked over there? Why are you opening my what's going on? Hey, what's up? This attack. It's like, ones don't. I mean, it could be the jab, it could be the water supply, it could be a lot, but either way, we know it's biblical prophecy, man. But with that, what I was going to say too, when you got people who feeling that attack, where they have to attack other people because they're not used to something changing. You have people who I was watching this video of this woman who went into this bathroom attacking, harassing another cis woman. This was like 5 months. I saw it on the Young Turks. The Young Turks had a video. I think it says a bigot woman attacks or harasses anti-transphobic bigot attacks a cis woman in the bathroom who she believed was trans in the bathroom. So basically, this older woman, she probably had the MAGA hat on, who knows, right? She probably was, harassing this woman who she believed was trans. I mean, all up in her business, all in her grill, just, oh yeah, why are you in the bathroom? And this, that, and the other, in the ladies' room, and I need to know who you are, and what's this, and what's that, and what you have, and who do. I mean, she was like, and the woman was like, standing up to her like, I don't tell you nothing. I don't have to tell you anything. Why don't you have to? I need to know. I mean, and I kept saying, I said, right, when people feel like that, when they say stuff, when I did my video a while ago, when people were saying, oh, well, we got to find out who the people are. And I said, the only way to know if a trans woman is using the restroom is to basically go up to them and ask them, and maybe try to strip them butt naked, because that's about the only way you're going to know for some trans women. Because you're not going to, every trans person, every trans man or woman, you're going to know is in that bathroom. So you might do stuff that look at a jawline, or maybe see a little facial hair, because there are, biological or females or cis women who have, facial hair, right? Who have a little facial hair. So you try to go for those certain features or certain things you think you're going to clock someone, and you might end up getting clocked because this individual was not who you wanted to be. And I kept saying, I said, a lot of y'all going to end up in a world of hurt because you're going to walk up to the wrong person, assuming that there's something that they're not, based off of your phobia, based off of your fear, and now you're going to be going to jail, all right, for harassment, okay, denying a person pursuit of happiness because you thought that they were banned. You thought that they were black when it was really white. You thought it was white when it was really black. You thought they were trans when they was really cis. So in your mind, you have nothing better to do than to, and I'm pretty sure the woman, I mean, based off of how they sound, looked the part. It just might have been something about her that the other one felt like, oh, well, maybe they're trans. And they want to go to the few stories of a trans individual maybe attacking someone in the bathroom, but they never go to the case or the cases of cis women in North Carolina sexually assaulting a trans woman in the bathroom. And you do have cis women who like trans women. I did a video on that. All right. And if anyone is in the adult entertainment world, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, but also in real life, I met real life women, especially via internet, cis women who admitted to liking trans women. All right. So, for all those, oh yeah, you did that, and I don't want to be cis, and I don't want to. You don't speak for every cis woman. You don't speak for every woman. All right, I could say black, 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 and there's black people who don't want to identify with being black. They want to be called white because they feel like black and white is equal terms, which they're correct on that on some degree. But being black and white are more like legal type of terms, status, status type of terms, right? Or you go to game of chess on it, right? But because white means pure and this, that, and all that kind of stuff, right? So a lot of Moorish brothers and stuff. So that was in the Hebrew is like that was sometimes might say so-called black or so-called, So yeah. So that being said, yeah, it's the time of separation. Anybody, man, anybody who, when you get into anybody who you get into a disagreement with them about these, prime example, what I just said about cis and trans, if they during that disagreement, if they start claiming that you have called them a cis woman when you did not, all right, when you start breaking it down, when you say, okay, you don't speak for women, because there are some cis women, who call themselves cis women, like here come these, here are these, you know, then they start, um, claiming that you have called them something that you didn't. At that point, they have become a murderer or potential murderer to you. Because if anyone will put words in your mouth to win an argument, right, to try to win an argument, excuse me, even though you have presented the proof, they don't want to go, they want to claim that you have done something to offend them. Because, excuse me, they have done nothing to offend trans women, because not even all trans women want to be called trans. There are some trans women who feel like because they got the surgery, they don't want to be identified as trans because they feel like they're a female. But then if something happened to them and they want to be trans, right? Or people have to kind of put that in the paper for people to kind of. So in going to that, covering Coco too, rest in peace. And I think I said the name of Kash Doll, who passed away in Atlanta, who were killed, excuse me, in Atlanta. Right around the same time. Like I said, it's a time of separation. And I think Coco, I think his name is Coco. I think she was in the documentary. The documentary was supposed to be, I think, was it Kokomo City? I think it was supposed to come out this year. But very talented. Both beautiful sisters. Who it's senseless killings. Like I said, you have people out here who are just killing at this point just because the sun came up, damn you almost. So and they said Sister Coco usually carried her firearm on her. So I think one of her friends felt like it was a setup that when she was killed, they didn't find her gun on her. So some people probably knew that she was carrying. That's why I tell people, like, be careful how many people that know that you carry, because these days we're in, or how often you carry and what's your EDC. Just be mindful of that. Not everybody has your best interest at heart. And so just maybe tell maybe one or two people that you carry, depending on your situation, that you're in, how hostile you could be, just be very careful. But they, I think, thinking that her killing was more so from a robbery because I think the guy was just like following her around the store after they had no kind of relationship connection. 17 years old, 17 years old, man, throwing your life away, throwing your life away. 17 years old. People just like not really caring about going to jail, going to prison, and something is definitely in the water when they're kind of starting. Yeah, like you're going to be harassing people because you don't agree with the bathroom that trans and cis people, trans men and women can use the bathroom. But it's primarily against trans women, right? Which they have been doing for hundreds of years, for at least what I don't know, 3, 4 decades. But anyway, before Obama ran his mouth and said what he said about, oh, you have the right to use the bathroom, trans women was already doing it. I heard trans women say we was already doing it. So, yeah, you're going to go up in there, meet the wrong individual, like that white woman, I don't know what state it was in, the Young Turks had a news clip, being someone on the grill, and they're not going to talk to you. They're not going to lip wrestle with you. They're going to beat your ass, okay, for talking to them like they something they're not. And then the fact too, they probably hate trans just as much as you do. So now you talk with somebody who you accusing them of being the same thing that you don't like, and you claiming, yeah, you think you the one that hate them the most, or you hate the ideology, or you hate them being able to do this and all that, and you meeting someone who is offended that you would even think mistakenly think that they were trans. And now they finna jump on you. So you have two bigots killing each other. Man, I said, these people gonna kill each other, man. They hate gonna cause them to kill each other. Really. Because of ignorance, because of what they do not know. And what they do not want to know. So it's a certain spirit in the air, man. I had a nerd that called me ignorant, man. Got the white girl call, oh, you ignorant because you keep calling me cis. Now I want to be. I said, oh, Lord. And I'm bringing forth video evidence of cis women identifying as cis or call themselves as cis. Don't, which is really not no new identity. It's just a way to, differentiate. So I just said stuff like that, man. People with all of their feelings and everything, they just feeling some kind of way. Like I say, I'm gonna say cis. You ain't gonna stop me from saying it. I'm gonna say nigga. I say nigga sometimes. Not gonna stop me from saying it. They try to ban it. They try to bury the N word. Okay, all right. Are you not gonna stop me from doing what I do? Okay, you're not gonna stop me from being a two-way advocate. You're not gonna stop me from loving trans women. You had people who hollered at me up and down about liking trans women. Still ain't been touched about it. I'm still here, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here. Like, I'm still here doing it. So, yeah, you can talk if you want to. That don't stop shit, man. That don't stop nothing to me. Excuse my language, try not to. But, yeah, that ain't going to stop me, man. Okay? Because I know myself. I know niggas and niggas. You know what I mean? Negus. Okay? Niggas. All right? Niggas. All right? Yeah, I was, I'm still, into Rastafari. I'm still, you say Rastafari at heart because it's at heart. I had people holler down at me about that. I had people holler me down about you can't do this and can't do that and still be Rastafari. I still wear red, gold, and green. The only way you can stop it is if you stop it, and you still can't stop it because, man, I'm a spirit, man. I'm not flesh. You feel me? I'm a spirit. I'm a spirit that you probably have never seen. People like me, we are spirits that, come on, man. Trans women, two-spirited, on a whole different level. You can't stop it. You can only multiply it by trying to stop it. That's all you can do. Anyway, but yeah, it's a separation. So just get away from me. I get away from you. You're not gonna tell me. Like I had to tell these guys on my video one time I had shared. Oh yeah, when they had the West Indian Day Parade, they had the first I think trans woman I think to be with the marshal of it. Lord, it's a name, but actually the leader, right? And you had some bigots that came under my video just talking crap. Oh, 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 yeah, that. And I started bringing the science and history about trans people and trans women to them, right? Oh, I didn't ask for no history lesson. I said, well, dude, you're under my channel, on the video I uploaded. I said I could bring any type of information I want. I could school you on whatever, on science, history, whatever. Man. Oh yeah, here goes some of religion. I could bring whatever. I say, you know what? You should be even happy that I'm even letting you your comment even stay on my channel because I can even block you, nigga. Do you in my house, bro? You in my house. But that's what bigots do. They feel like they can tell you, they can come to your house and tell you how to talk. No legal authority, no authority at all. They feel like they can come to your house and tell you how to pray, tell you how to talk, tell you how to pay your bills, and they're not paying a damn bill. But they feel like they have the right to tell you how to even marry, tell you how to identify. But they be the main ones about to blow somebody's brains off for even thinking about doing some of the stuff that they do to other people because it is a superiority complex. Like I told Ed Helfer, I said, no, it's a superiority complex. That's what it is. That's what it is. Because you feel like being bio is more superior, is the more realer, or is the realest, is the original, is the pure, and the trans is the copycat. Okay? Don't call it black rap, just call it rap. You know what I mean? You could probably call that a white rapper or a white rap because, you know, hip hop and rap come from, you know, black people, right? So you would kind of get like, why y'all calling it black hip? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you got ones who would get offended by that. Okay? But if they had knowledge of trans and what trans is and not, what cis is or not, it's not a new, it's just saying that you are different from trans people. Like if you say all the women going to the over here and all the men over here, wouldn't trans women be, I think, in that line over that line over there with the women, and trans men will be over here with the men, with us men, especially cis. But when you say, hey, cis men, cis women, you know, go further over there, and for then okay, it's becoming a more distinction. So you know, it's like I told you, it's another way of just saying bio, if you want to put it that way. But it's really just saying, hey, you was, you know, your mind in line with your body. All right, you never had no issue saying, you know what, I don't know, my body just seemed different than my mind. You never had to like, you know what, I look like them, but I don't feel like I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like you never had that. That's basically was all they're saying. That's basically all they're saying. That's basically, so I have no issue calling myself a cis man, and there's other men like me, trans attracted men who don't mind calling themselves cis. There's trans attracted women who don't mind being called cis women. There's women who are not cis women who are not trans attracted who don't mind calling themselves cis. All right, it's just a distinct. It's just basically it. Like, so if you say, hey, all the trans women get further, it's making a distinction. Okay. Uh, if you want to say all the men born with a certain body part, okay, I guess that would be. It's just a way of, okay, boom, boom, that's it. Okay, these kind, that kind of men, this kind of woman. That's all it's doing. but they're offended by it. You know what I mean? Something that could be just so simple, identified. But if you feel like, hey, I'm the original, and they come from me because I started manhood, I started womanhood. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. These are men and women. Their mind just didn't align with their body for a certain degree, right? That's it. They're men. They're women. One's for like, well, I'm bio, so I'm the full original. These people don't know that bio also consists of what? Hormones. It don't just consist of a womb or a penis. It consists of hormones. So if you're changing your hormones level, you're changing your biology because that consists of biology. Then therefore you're changing your sex. So then you have someone who is 80% female or male, and 20% male or female. All right. You have ones who are born with XXY chromosome. They're born with a trisomy, right? They're born with three chromosomes. They have two X's and one Y. I think two Y's and one X, and etc. 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 We'll be here all day, right? So even that consists of sex, right? Your chromosomes, hormones, neurobiology, your brain function, neurobiology, that consists of it too, and your genitals, okay? But that's genitals are just one aspect. Your womb, your genitals, your sperm, and all, that's your eggs. That's just one. Your uterus. That's just one part of it. They had a I mean, I don't know if we're getting separation out. I'm still on. They had a thing on Twitter. They had this picture on Twitter, and they was saying they was asking, "Hey fellas, do you consider guys who are attracted to, I guess, a stud, right? To a masculine stud or stud, however, to a stud, is straight, right, or gay?" And you had a trans woman who was like, "Oh yeah, because men, straight men, like like John." I was like, I said, no, those dudes are gay, and I've had, uh, you know, a bisexual cis women. Well, no, well, one was bisexual, the other one was but they transitioned to a trans man. But at the time, they were just a lesbian couple. But they was asked me the similar question because they got tired of her husband now, but they was getting tired of guys who claimed they were straight, kept always approaching, hey, with your husband now, but he was still, very masculine even then, right? Trying to get at him. And we see this a lot, especially here in Florida, right? When I'm from Central Florida. But we see it in other states too. But guys who identify as straight, who like dudes who look, I mean, excuse me, girls who look like dudes, man, who act and talk like dudes. They like what's it, Young and May? That's they thing, man. Bush, like, I'm like, because they got a vagina, but that's a dude with a vagina to me. That's what I see. I see that's a dude with a vagina. They breath smelling like mine. They trying to grow facial hair. They trying to get rid of their breasts. Like, you get what I'm saying? They around here sitting with the legs open and, yeah, man, we finna go to the, like, that shouldn't turn you on, man. That shouldn't turn you on. You should even, I should even, yeah, it should disgust you to the point that you wouldn't even want to know if they got a vagina or not. You should be turned off by this kind of energy. Yeah, this kind of energy. Yeah, man. Go play some basketball and go to the hole, man. And yeah, we gonna go to the store. We gonna be around here doing this. I mean, just talking, acting like one of the homies. One of the, that should turn you off, man. That should make you soft. Like real talk. If you a straight guy, if you say, hey, I don't like dudes, I like women. That kind of, and see, that's the thing. People can't grasp the concept of two spirited, right? Because we didn't just identify each other based off of how we look. We identified each other based off of what? The spirit. because we're spiritual people. We are people of the spirit. We are soul people. So you have to look beyond the physical to see that brother and that sister within them, right? Discernment, right? You have to be able, as they say, well, not everything is that glitter is gold. So we was able, just like they say with the nature, right? You have people who start worshiping nature, like they were taught because they see that even the trees are living organisms, right? They're living. They say even Earth is a living body, right? So they would talk to the spirit within the tree. They would call the tree by the spirit that's within the tree. They just didn't. Hell, I mean, we did a lot of stuff by the spirit. So in the higher dimensions where we vibrated off of before the European colonization came, we operated. I mean, anybody who know about Native Americans understand this, right? They would identify people, and not just Native Americans, all Native peoples of lands that existed of melanin of hue, right? Would identify people based off of their spirit, your animal spirit. This that you would get a name based off the spirit that you had, and people could say, well, that person is small, but they will call them big this and big that because of the spirit that was within them. And say, okay, now I see why they call them big this and big that, right? Uh, wow, you know, or they will be big or giant, but they will call them little this and little that. And you like, why? Then you would see, okay, that's why, because you know, even though they was big in size, they were like a little baby, a little child, or something like that, right? You know what I mean? So based off the spirit and the energy that that person gave off, just like Native American, how do we even know if a person was two spirit or what we know is trans today, or what we call trans or non-binary? How we put, they would have a dance, right? A big dance, a festival, whatever. They have a dance, and they would have the children come around, and they would try to spot out which one was going to be two spirit based off of how they dance. And anybody know about dance? Dance is a message that you push out through movements of the body, right? It's a communication. Some communicate with the gods, communicate with the universe, communicate with people around you. Basis, of dance and moving hands. Anyway, but they would say if the child who was male body, right, was male, would dance in a soft, feminine way, without the parents being around, just let them do the dance, then they would kind of prepare them to kind of, in a sense, to be. I mean, they wouldn't push them to say, "Hey, join the two spirited part of the tribe over here," but they would say, "Hey, watch them." You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna probably end up, being have to be schooled by y'all, right? And if the female, uh, you could say individual body, uh, would dance in a more masculine way, they would sing too well. But they're gonna probably be, they gonna go up to probably be a man, right? So this is how they would do this, all right, based off the energy, because you can't always tell. Just like that woman in that bathroom could not tell based off of features who was trans and who was not. You can't always go by who is the owner of this basketball team based off of the color of their skin and the texture of your hair, because you might get fired. And if y'all seen that video, y'all know what I'm talking about. You might get fired because how can a black man in his 30s, 40s, how can a black man own such a thing? No, you're not the owner. No, there's no way. There's no way. But you had someone that said, well, hell, based off of what he was wearing, you could tell he owned something. Okay, he owned something with a lot of money. The way he, just the way he walked and the way that, yeah, his clothes were. So if you pay attention to people's demeanor, you could tell, a pretty decent amount about him. Like I had this the brother, and my mom was in the hospital. He could tell that I was in the music, that I did music. And I was like, how you know? He said, by your demeanor. And I was in the DJing heavily at the time. I still here and there, but I was in the DJing heavily. I said, well, how you can tell? He said, demeanor. I said, okay. And I looked and I started looking at him. And I said, let me guess. I said, in the spiritual eye. I said, let me guess. You probably boxed, don't you? You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, I've done a little, fighting here and there and everything. So yeah, I do. I said, I could tell, by your demeanor. So that's the thing, man. We can't always go by, that. Not saying that we don't look at that we don't, make even distinctions and make judgments based off of, the physical, but we can't always go by that. We have to at times look at this. We have to close these eyes and open this eye. All right, close these eyes and open this eye. The first eye. This is the first eye. Some call it the third, but it's the first. Right? And yeah. And it saved people from doing things, man, from making bad decisions. Uh, who you should marry. And I just gave one of our brothers, Church Director brothers, he showed me a video of this woman that he think he's talking to and everything. I said, okay, yes, that's pretty good, man, pretty decent. She said, but then I went on her page and I saw some clothes she had that looked like, might be some some kind of Wicca stuff going on, pagan type of religion type stuff. I said, yeah, bro, you might want to check her out. Ask her what her religion or spirituality is, spiritual practices are. And he said, well, you think that be a thing, a red flag? I said, oh yeah, major red flag. But that's just me. You ain't got to, you want to. But he started thinking, he said, no matter of fact, yeah, you right, yeah, because even if you're just trying to, hook up down the line, you might end up liking that person, and you might find yourself attached and be like, oh, hold on, like you went to that, you went and that's what y'all be doing, yeah. And at this time, you done shared all kind of food, and yeah, man, she got a lock of your hair, man. You better be careful, like especially when you prayed up, like hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, be careful. Yeah. So he said, not so no matter. He said, I'm taking up this, this game you're giving me, brother. Yeah, I'm definitely, glad. I'm definitely taking it in. So I shout out to him. Like I said, people like that, and I love to talk to. He gave me, information on stuff, man. With grass and all that, how to do how to the weeds in the grass. Just all of that, man. Just share information, so people you can do that with, man. And you separating from other people that you just feel like, man, I'm tired of talking to y'all. I'm not here now. Get out. Like I love y'all, but I'm tired of talking to y'all. Y'all just not getting it. And you love talking to people who just get it, man. Y'all get each other. You receive information from them, and they receive information from you. And y'all don't see, y'all not like identical copies, but y'all feel like y'all related almost, man. So yeah. So like with my wife, me and my wife, we have our, but yeah, I never stopped talking to her. Yeah, we just it'd be like you be like me too much some goddamn time. I can't stand your behind you too. Yeah, you too like me. Me and my wife, man. It be like that. But you like to be around people just gonna be with you because they understand you, man. They understand you. Y'all not, yeah, people blood and we related or we been friends. I've been knowing you for whatever, like, but you don't understand me. You don't understand me, and therefore you can't stand me, and you can't stand by me, and you can't stand the rain because you don't feel the joy and the pain that I do. You don't understand me. So, but yeah, just use your first eye. Especially these days, all these people with all this demon time captions and what they call it, devil head, excuse me, demon head emojis and stuff. Definitely be careful. Be careful. But okay, yeah. Matthew 10:34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I am not come to send peace, but a sword. Right? New Testament now. This is Yeshua, red letters. Matthew 10:34. Think not that I have come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. Booyah! For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother. Excuse me. And a daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Verse 37, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So basically, like she was saying, you got to then hate your own family, hate your own people to follow him. You know what I mean? To worship and saying that, yeah, you're gonna hate them. And what is they're gonna feel like you hate them. You don't hate them, but they're gonna feel like that because you just don't want to do stuff that they just into. You just see stuff that is totally different, and they be like, man, y'all better get about that mindset. 'Cause y'all gonna get destroyed out here, man. You be thinking that, but they can't see it that way. In their mind, yeah, things are messed up, but it's gonna be how it's always gonna be, or somehow it be like, man, okay, yeah. But no, and you just doing what Yeshua said to do. That's basically what it is. When you got family members who ask, however you do, you say they know that, yeah, you celebrate things different, dude. But I mean, all you doing is just doing what the Most High said to do. That's your celebration. That's basically what you're doing. So the Sabbath day, the feast, man, certain feasts, you're trying to keep it if you're able to. The Passover or Pesach, things like that. I mean, that's what you're trying to do, but they don't really get that, or not really trying to get into that. All right, they're not really trying to get into that. So that's basically all you're doing is doing thus says Yah, and that seems foreign to you if you got that religion. You don't have the word, man. You don't have living by the word. You just going to church, but you're not going into the word, okay? And that's gonna be different than what the church gonna bring, because the church gonna bring whatever they want you to know to give you your money, but the word is gonna, give you eternal life. That's what's gonna give you eternal life. Not how much you donate or how much tithes you bring, or how much good tidings you bring, okay, for doing the works and the things that the Most High have you to do, but also have to keep in the faith, man. That's first and foremost, man. First and foremost, having the faith in God, in the Most High, in Yeshua, man. Okay, so I'm sheep, and yeah, separation, man. So we in the year 2023, right? 2, 3. That's a 4, 5. Another 2, 6, 7. 7 what? God's number, right? God's number. They say God's perfect number, 7 days. God created heaven and earth, right? Everything between. We'll be here all day about number 7, but mainly 7. And then, 7 also is the symbol of separation. Like I said, where you get this from? If you look at the Reaper, the Grand Reaper, they have a staff that's in the shape of the 7, or what you call it, thing when you do to cut the grass. You can cut it like not a sift, no word for it, but you use that, but they use that, and that's in the shape of a 7. So 7 also is what cutting, separation as well. But we at this point now, so a lot of people definitely feel it now than they've ever done before, when you just feel like, man, I'm only got like a few people that I really rock with. Like, it's really like that now. Like, I don't feel like, yeah, most people don't really have my best interest at heart. There's only very few that do, because it's a separation. And it's definitely going to be that way. Because other people, they're going to feel that too. They're just going to feel it when everything hits the fan. But since you're an individual that does, what the Most I say do, you're definitely feeling that now, right? Or you being prepared, whatever kind of way you being prepared, right? You definitely feeling that. You definitely feeling that. You definitely feel like, yeah, I can't rock with these people, man. I can't. They just not hitting me up. They're not calling me. Only very few people that I like. Yeah, just and you probably don't want them to call you. Being honest, like, you probably don't want it because you just it's always, put it like this, man. Some people change, other people, yeah, they change, but they don't really fully change. They don't really want to fully change. They still find themselves holding on to the old self, right? To the old way of thinking, the ego, right? They find themselves holding on to the old paradigm, but yet they still supposed to be changed. They're supposed to be changed, right? Because one thing when I know somebody has really fully changed is that they are open to receive information. And what I mean by that, information that you have that will save their soul. Like my brother. I was just saying, church, but like, and not just, hearing and listening, but actually doing. Just like if he bring me some good information that I claim I need and want, I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to claim that, hey, you know what? Thank you. I'm going to be getting that as soon as I can get that. As soon as I can do that, you feel me? That is it's critical to my well-being, to my yard's well-being, to my lawn or whatever. That I claim that I'm very uh, that I take seriously, right? Or that I'm really about. Okay, I'm not just going, oh, okay, whatever. No, I'm gonna take it as a take it, appreciate it, right? Appreciate it, be very appreciative, and not just hold on to, oh wow, I'm gonna just hold on to this. Nah, right? This brother showed me some good stuff, some good information, and some good products that I could use to better what I'm doing. Cost a little bit, but you know what I'm saying. Either way, okay, so too, right? But I mean, it's not out the way. I can still get it, but yeah, I mean, it's not gonna go to waste. And that's the thing too. Like you don't want to talk to people that you feel like they do is talking and talking and talking. But if you were to present them the undisputable truth regarding that which they claim to be the way or the gateway, that they wouldn't just take it as a grain of salt or just hold on to the old way, that they would actually appreciate and thank you for showing that to them. Because, it is, yeah, I mean, it's worth it, man. It's worth having. But to them, it's worth having that old way of thinking. That's what they want. They still want to enter into the gates, but then with this false doctrine that you know they can't or don't want to break up biblically, um, because it would offend them, man. And you could put it on them like, hey, if I were to bring this out regarding what it really does says regarding that subject, and I got 3 or 4 precepts and the etymology of the Hebrew words are, if I or the Greek and Latin, if I were to go into that, uh, you would be offended. You would probably still hold on to, well, my pastor said this, and therefore you haven't really fully changed. You know, so you just have to just watch people, man. I mean, people got to be really with it, man. They have to really be really with it today. Um, there was a sister, she watched the video. She probably watched it now, and I was paraphrasing the scripture, and she put the right scripture down, in the comments, and I was like, yeah, that's right, thank you, sister. I didn't get, she didn't necessarily correct me, but she gave the correct, what I mean, precept, and I took that, thank you, because that's what it says. So I didn't get offended by that because I wanted to be able to you get it right in the video myself, but I took that because hey, here goes somebody who's reading. Here goes somebody. If I forget, because usually I don't like precepts and all that, but if I have an issue, like what, they're not relying on me to be on point. They're relying on the Holy Spirit, okay, to be on point, and that's what I want to see. Like I told people, I don't want 1,000 people following me and a million people. No, I want people that will. What I think it was Paul said, "Follow me as I follow Christ." I want people to follow and to go in the Word and to show me where I'm wrong and where I'm right at. According to what I want them, and not even really that. I just want them just to read it for themselves, to have it for themselves. Because anything can happen to any of us any day. So they got the same book I have. If they're led by the Holy Spirit, I believe it's the same Holy Spirit. I know it's different gifts, but hopefully they'll be led to be able to see that that's what it's saying through the Spirit and through the wisdom and knowledge, because that's the gifts of the Holy Spirit: knowledge and wisdom and power and strength. That they can see that that's the word, right? That's the word. That's what y'all said. I had a brother when I used to say, "You should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free," and he was like, "Make you free." I said, "Right now, right. It should make you free." Right. I said, "Okay, you correct," but I didn't get like, "Oh, he corrected me," over there. Because see, it's not about me, man. It's the word over me, the word of the Most High over my words. That's what it's about. It's about the Most High's word, unadulterated truth, the word, the truth of the Most High, that ones will be delivered, man. That's what it's about. It's not about even sometimes how I feel about the Most High word, because the word is the word. Period. And a lot of people, man, try to get their feelings in the way of their own salvation. Because, well, I don't like that verse. That verse I was talking about, man. And like I said, I see people, man, fall out with God because God was too vengeful, or God was too strict, or God was too whatever, man. What they did, they fell out with Yeshua. Christ is false. Then they say, well, okay, well, Christ was real. Oh, no, this is food. Okay. Yeah, they say, yeah, okay, yeah. So the apostles, then they follow with apostles. So yeah, get rid of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and they get rid of Acts apostles. They get rid of Paul's other, because Paul was. So then they get rid of the whole New Testament, Revelation name. And then they go to the Old Testament, and that's supposed to be right. The Tanakh and the Torah. Yeah. Then they end up getting rid of Tanakh. They just stick to the 5 books of Moses, the Pentateuch, right? Then they end up throwing that away. Because you know what? It's the whole word. They have an issue with the Most High God. They don't have an issue with Paul. They don't have an issue with Peter. They don't have an issue with Yeshua. They have an issue with thus says Yah. That's what they have an issue with. They don't have an issue with homosexuals, gays, LGBT. They have an issue with thus says Yah. When you show them in the word, when the Most High spoke of the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah, why were those places? What was the judgment? What were the abominations that they were doing that caused them to be wiped out? Right. The abomination, the major abomination that people mention, homosexuality, is not even mentioned. It don't say nothing about no men with no women, no women. No men with no men, no women with no women. It don't say none of that. But somehow you got people who will still use that term sodomite to identify homosexuals, even though you can show them in the book that is not the judgment that was given to Sodom. All right? And so here we go, this thing of people having an issue with the says the Most High. They, their ego is their God. Their pastor is their God. Their political religious affiliation is the Most High God. Because if they were really men and women of God, the moment you show them that, hey, man, you got it wrong, and you go into the Greek and the Hebrew, they will humble themselves from that point on and say, no, brother, you know what, sister, brother, I got some reading I need to do. They would at least try to go and look and see, what does that mean? Try to no, they would just still hold on. Like I always use an example of my mother, had me to humble myself, and I thought I knew that couldn't nobody be a friend of God. Or I couldn't stand that song. When I really got into the word, I got into the word, I was young. Friend of God, I'm a friend of God. Can't nobody be a friend of God. I thought that was blasphemy, man. I thought that song was blasphemy. Oh man, friend of God. How can you be a friend of God? Nobody's on the level to be a friend of God. And my mother told me, look it up. It's in the Bible. It's in there, look at it. I looked it up. I said, oh man. Through faith, Abraham became a friend of God. I said, oh man. Abraham became a friend of God. Oh, let me see if it actually say friend. Let me see that. If it is, it says friend, but let me see in the Greek. I know with the Greek, the Aramaic, all that was like, maybe it's not friend, and it was. And I had to humble myself that same day. I humbled myself to say, you know what? Yeah, Abraham was a friend of God. Now, a lot of people couldn't do that, man. They could not do that. If you were taught a certain way about God and you feel a certain way about God, right? That if you see a precept, if you see a scripture or epistle that, in a sense, is contrary to that, because it's not contrary to the word, it's contrary to your feelings about the word, one's interpretations or even at times interpolation of it, that is the issue. And you tell people like this with no contradictions. Is parts of the Bible that was added on, certain words that was put there that you won't find in the Old Testament, you won't find in the Hebrew word for it. It's not proper things, or you find things that it's not a contradiction. It was just speaking it's a proper context given to that time, but it's not a contradiction. So, but you just have to understand and know that. And certain things where there was a renewing of things. So when people try to say eunuchs, they feel like what Yeshua said regarding eunuchs is contrary to what they'll see in with Deuteronomy, right? They'll say, "Well, they might feel like it's not a contradiction. It's a renewing." It mentions the new covenant in Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah 33, I believe. 31, 33, it mentions the new covenant. So we have a modification of the law, right? So you still have a sacrifice. We just have Yeshua, the ultimate sacrifice, right? But it just been modified. So we have and there's certain things that are done different, okay? So at one point, no eunuchs, trans couldn't come in. But if you kept reading, you would see that eunuchs were doing a lot of stuff to the prophets, and one of the prophets most likely became a eunuch themselves, and that was Daniel. If you understand the historical and even the prophecy concerning the sons of Judah, what will happen to them when King Nebuchadnezzar take them when the Babylonians overtake Judah, right? So we have prophecies. We have two prophets prophesied of that, I believe, if I have it right, to happen. And who was Daniel under? I think the prince of the eunuchs, right? Him and Shadrach, Meshach, and the bad Negro, but that one the Hebrew names. And, those other three that were the Hebrew names. But anyway, we're taking the slaves, and was said prophesied that your sons would be made eunuchs. All right. So here we got eunuchs, trans, gender variant people being examples of faith in God, the fiery furnace, not bowing down to the false god. The eunuchs now, we have some eunuchs who will keep my laws. And one of them, Daniel, got a book. Oh, isn't that something? Isn't that something? And then you go and it's a lot of stuff. How eunuchs was talked about the same way trans people are talked about today. You're messing up your body, going against your nature. Da 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 da. They said the same thing about you. I've done videos on that. But anyway, show and prove on that. So yeah, man. But yeah, just showing that, man. This is the time of separation. So you're gonna see a lot of people separating themselves from other people. People showing their true colors, which that's going to bring separation, and people who just going to, I guess, wait for the right time to show their true colors. But anyway, that's what's going to happen because we're at a time now. Man. We had a special time right now. All right, and anytime there's a special time, like I mentioned, in 2,160 years, there's going to be a clash because you got the old way of doing things is out the window. But really, it's not really old in the sense. I mean, see, what trans in the age of Aquarius, it's not necessarily new. It's new, but it's like it was done before. People just didn't, recognize it now, right? In the past, I don't know how many 7,000 years, right? But people, was trying to do so much to try to bring it down, to erase it, especially the past 300-400 years, but through European colonization. So with that being said, yeah, it's just basically a renewing of what was established, but in a more, I guess you could say, modern way, an ancient modern way. Basically, in a way where you're not too ancient for the young, and you're not too new for the old. You're just kind of somewhat balanced out with it, right? Like the Bible say that I think it's Amos 9:11. He will raise the tabernacle of David, and it will be as the days of old. So, yeah, it's gonna be some things. It's gonna be more extravagant in the kingdom and all of that. Way better, but in the sense of certain order, it's going to be kind of like that in the times of David. So it's going to have that kind of that feel when David was on the throne. But there is some modifications, and Ezekiel 44 goes into that too. How the priest would be, modify some things that the priest will be doing or won't be doing, and in the kingdom, right, or the new kingdom in the kingdom. So yeah, there's as far as the hair and all of that, man. The order, even feast days, things going to be like only 3 feast days, all that. So yeah. So yeah, be prepared, man. Be prepared, and it's gonna be a lot of divine things happening, man. Divine things happening in the midst of it. So you're gonna have people that's going to fall by the wayside. You're gonna have people who are gonna take up their sword and fight. You're gonna have a lot of things gonna be revealed about people, about who we are, what we are, and where we're going. A lot of people ain't gonna be able to take the information because they're gonna be like, oh my goodness, like people now, they can't take what's going on now. They're losing their mind. Oh, somebody stepped on my shoe. That means somebody is a shadow. Ooh, I'm finna kill him. Yeah, like people they feel some kind of way. So yeah, excuse me, y'all. I got to get this thing. I'm about to probably close on a little bit, but let me go ahead and get there. All right. Thank you. You too. You're welcome. Thank you. So, yeah. But so a lot of people, man, yeah, just be mindful that no matter how many ones they try to kill or the deaths of ones of trans women. Like I say, rest in peace to the family of Coco Cashdoll and yeah, those girls in Atlanta that was killed, senseless murders, killing. Rest in peace to them, and just yeah, uh, be mindful too that everybody doesn't have your best interests, in mind, in heart these days, and just be mindful of who you deal with, who you talk to, especially if you're dealing with people in their lifestyle. Like I say, just be very cautious and mindful. And that'll be a whole video in itself. Me and my wife might do a live on Facebook going more deeper into that. You know, so yeah, just want y'all to be prepared, be prayed up out here, be mindful that it's you might want to party like it's 1999, but it's not 1999. All right, right there. It's it's a beautiful, yeah, it's a bittersweet kind of moment we're in right now because I basically I tell people, man, you have to raise to a certain amount of consciousness to see the change in people that surround you, man. When you vibrate on a certain consciousness, and that don't mean you have to like be talking to people and all the people face, trying to be friendly. But when you just have this thing where you're not gonna put up with nonsense, and low vibration, vibratory energy, and all you want and you will allow is good vibrational people around you. People even sometimes doing this being to yourself, but having that mindset, having that energy, doing whatever you can, even if you're in jail and in prison, to have that, what, if I have it in my mind, I can obtain it. If it exists in my head, it's possible. Because I've seen it, I've known it happen. Like if I'm just thinking this stuff, it becomes so peaceful around me. And I'm thinking if I'm listening to stuff, it becomes so chaotic around me. You know what I mean? And just you'll see it manifest. You have to be the change that you wish to see in others. So a lot of these people, I want trans people to stop existing. Now, the reason why you can't get rid of trans people because you can't get trans people out your mind. You know what I'm saying? You can't get trans people out your mind. Trans people are in these people's mind. They're more triggered by things with trans people than anyone. So they what Bud Light, I had to probably live on that too. There's so much stuff going on, y'all. But the Bud Light, oh man, and that's gonna backfire on them for those who are against trans people getting endorsed and making money. Even though I don't really deal with that type of stuff with the Gentiles and what they got going on and beer and all of that, right? But yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna backfire, man. And you had a dude, he was in the store tearing up the aisle of Bud Light because of it. Like people willing to go to jail based off of a goddamn beer, man. A beer and somebody's face being on the beer. Like some crap like that, man. I like, you feel me? And that gives opportunities too for certain stocks to go up because man, look at here. Anybody know when there's certain things that go down in the stock market, it can go back up again. All it takes is the right person to buy that, it go back up again. So, and I'm not an expert on that. I'm just saying, I at least know about that. So you have ones who broke that down on how that could actually work in favor of Bud Light and trans. But these people they thinking that they won because oh yeah, so they didn't back down, so they didn't change the comments stuff like that. Oh, somebody had the video and somebody had the snapshot and a tweet of uh, when Bud Light, basically prior to the Bud Light controversy of the trans uh, Bud Light thing. Basically, I think about a week or so before that, or a couple of days or so, when they had put it out there, the little marketing thing they had, their viewership, I think went up there about 100 or something like that. Like it was in the I think almost in the millions or hundreds of thousands. Basically, it was basically 10 times or 100 times more than it was when they had first mentioned just oh hey the regular Bud Light remix that didn't have nothing to do with trans. Then as soon as they mentioned about trans, it just went up. So they had basically got more views on Twitter and more notoriety based off of people getting pissed off. Like, you feel me? People making videos about Bud Light. Not Kid Rock shooting up cans of Bud Light. So what they're doing for Bud Light is helping Bud Light because you got people say gonna be around here like, damn, this damn can made people do all that stuff like that. Let me drink. Let me see what's in this goddamn drink, man. Let me just mention Bud Light. Let me make something about Bud Light. So basically, they're doing more marketing for Bud Light than Bud Light could ever pay. Basically, giving free promotion, free marketing. That's all they're doing. And then on top of that, with the stock market as well. Come on. So they brought more viewership to Bud Light through the controversy, and they also want to bring them more money. But they don't see that. They just thinking, oh yeah, we done said this, we done said that, and we done boycotted or whatever the crap did. I said, oh, man, these people, boy, they in for a world of hurt. Just like I had some people in the world of hurt. I showed up for my wife. And they was like, oh, snap, that's who she married to. Oh, god dang. Yeah. They don't know who the husband be. They don't know. Not every trans woman out here just, they don't know. Yeah, they don't know. But, yeah, I mean, we know people who do know, but they didn't know. But no, one person did know, but the other they didn't know out there. I said, yeah, they was like, yeah, I'm telling you, things got real quiet real quick. So, but just that people thinking that they don't won. Let them think they won. Yeah. I said, nah, they not. They won the battle, but they definitely didn't win the war. They ain't really won the battle, because like I said, they got more publicity and more viewership and more people talking about them before. I mean, Bud Light. I mean, that's some light stuff, right? Bud Light. Now, so yeah. And it happens like that, man. It happens like the stone that the bitter refuse has now become the head of the corner. Period. Period. So yeah, they say your haters are your big supporters, man. I mean, brothers from Jamaica, Trinidad, DC, all over the place. They like trans women, man. Okay, man. It was a one guy. Hell, he followed trans women, and he can't stand them. He's very conservative white guy. I said, well, hold on, man. You follow trans women, you follow adult trans women, if you get what I'm talking about. But you around here talking about L pronouns and they can't come to the bathroom, and I mean, would they'll be in the right bathroom? I know he would definitely want trans women in the bathroom with him. But he even admitted, he said, well, I like trans. And I said, these people sick, bro. These people crazy. Like, at least for me, at least when I was going through my issues with my attraction, at least I was trying to be quiet about it. You know what I mean? I went, but no, I said you admitted in one breath. I mean, because people could go on your page and see who you follow and everything. So how you gonna be talking all this conservative stuff, but liking pictures of scantily clad, or basically known trans women? You know they trans, and saying that you like them, but then saying that you. So, like I said, man, it's a lot of internalized transphobia, a lot of internalized trans attraction phobia, a lot of internalized uh, trans attraction phobia, homophobic, like it be like, but you, man, but you like, but you get what I'm saying? I'm just so not all these guys who get up there and say this stuff about trans people and trans women. Stop shoving this down our throat. Oh, that's not what they saying when they got that mask on and they got that video. That ain't what they saying when they got their mask on trying to creep up in there at 3 o'clock in the morning. They're not saying that then. But they'll come on and then sometimes in the same mouth, man, and it's on the same page. Like they ain't got sense enough to have a DL page and have a and have a very I don't like trans conservative or pro black page. I mean, some of these guys would I mean be on the same page, like, dude, but you know, but he didn't say trans. He said I like trans. You know, he said, all right, but yeah, yeah, man. But like I say, just ones can't help themselves. Like I said, they have trans people on their minds more than anything, right? So when you keep thinking about something, it can manifest, man. But I got a split right now, y'all. James Speed, shalom to y'all, man. Y'all be good. One love to y'all. I'm out, and just keep it in mind. 7 separation. We're going into a higher heights next year. We'll break that down. 2024, April 8th. Y'all be ready, cause more in store. I'm out. One love. Shalom.